it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones, yeah, the dance is the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this, wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in that pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones, yeah, the dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the, you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, Thomas. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he powers his way up past the 30. This defense for the Bengals, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. But man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT. 11 MT, 11 MT.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Chandler on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Gotta go. 11, 11, 11.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And that is incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Drop 50, drop 50.
Off play action. Thomas. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Now Chandler. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The Bengals at 11-2 now. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience,
Here we go.
all on display in that victory.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
11 MT, take. 11 MT, 11 MT, 11 MT. 11 mighty.
Burrow will throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Here we go. 11. 11. Stop.
Now a handoff to Chandler. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
12. 11 MT, paint. 11 MT, paint.
On 2nd and 2, Burrow. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
11, mighty. 11.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Buying time to his left. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Thomas. 12, 11. 12.
Now Burrow. Tunyon's got it on the out route. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
11 MT, Kate. 11 MT. 11 mighty.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Ty Chandler with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Thomas from the gun on 3rd down. And going deep for Hill. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere. but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Taken in at the 22. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. McPherson now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Okay, break.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mikey, 18.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Thomas. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Thomas now on 1st and 10. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop it right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
7 Pirates! 7 Pirates!
Off the play fake. Thomas. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push it back to the 34. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Sanders' kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On 2.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
11, Thomas.
On 2nd and 1, Burrow. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
12.
Here's Chandler. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
12.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Thomas. And his throw is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
19 right.
To throw is Thomas. To throw on 3rd down. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
11 MT, take. 11 MT, 11 MT, 11 MT. 11, 11, 11. 11 mighty, 11 mighty. Stop.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On 1, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11, Thomas. 12, 12, 12.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
12, 12, 12.
They run it with Chandler. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
11 MT, 11 MT, 11 MT. 11, 11, 11.
From just shy of midfield, Burrow. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number on Next Gen Stats, how about this? 71 yards through the air. Taken in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Unlock line! Unlock line!
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll get that out wide to Waddle. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Let's go!
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Thomas. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Coates. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They'll keep it on the ground. Coat, and he's got it to about the 40.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now Thomas on 3rd down. Over the middle here to Coates. And they'll get him down at the 34. And he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Oh, and now Timeout movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Thomas throwing on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
11.
On 2nd down, Burrow drops this underneath for Chandler. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A run with most, and the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all.
On 1, ready?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
12, 11. Hey, 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chandler. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run on first down. It's Chandler, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
11 MT tank. 11 MT tank.
Now it's Burrow. Toward the pylon, caught. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head... to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but and he lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
11 MT, MC, tank. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11 MC, 11 MC.
On first down, Chandler to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, it's Chandler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11. 11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow dancing to his left. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter. Up really big. That passing incompletion. I don't think they needed the completion. But, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Talk about two sides of the ball across purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Bengals grab it. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
12, 12, 12.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chandler, and he may have given those 6 yards right back as they're going to get to him well behind the line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On one, right?
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 25 yards that time. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Left wing 19. Warriors 70.
They go play action here on first down. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. 78 yards on the ground for him so far. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And trying to let pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they've made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
It's that hate, boy. Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we eat.